Hey there guys, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. I just wanted to do a quick video today, and one that may prove to be a bit ill-timed considering we've got the Nova Open reveals coming in less than a day's time now, but I wanted to talk about the elephant in the room that is the release of the Astra Militarum. Mainly, when are they coming? Because we know they're getting a sizable overhaul. We've all seen the leaked images, and then it was confirmed by GW with the official pictures of things like the Sentinel, so we know they are being redone and they will be getting a full 9th edition Codex. It's just, in my opinion, cutting it a little bit close to the line now. From the previews and the teaser images we have seen from the upcoming Nova reveals, I think it is fair to say the majority, if not all, of what we see for 40k is going to be the upcoming World Eaters and the Leagues of Votann. It doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of time to focus on any new Astra Militarum models or when the Codex may be coming, and the fact that the free mini you can get in store next month is a Hearthkin Warrior makes me think it's almost a dead certainty that the Leagues are going to be the next Codex we get into our hands. And when you think about the general outline of 40k editions, they tend to be on 3 to 4 year cycles, with a move more recently towards 3 instead of 4 years, and 9th edition came out in 2020. So I do think that we are more than likely getting an eventual 10th edition of the game sometime in 2023, probably in summer of next year. And so whilst I don't think there is any doubt the Guard will be getting a 9th edition book, it's almost certain it won't be this year, with the Leagues Codex coming out next, potentially any Age of Sigmar battle tome after that, and then what looks to be, if anything based on the focus of the previews for Nova, World Eaters after Leagues and before the Guard. That doesn't really leave much room for a 2022 Astra Militarum release, especially when you consider that November and December have in the past quite often been packed with things like specialist games and Christmas focused releases. It basically just gives 2 months, which in my opinion is not enough time to get through the Leagues and the World Eaters and get to the Guard. We've also had rumours of a potential Space Marine 2.0 book coming before 10th, so does that mean that the Astra Militarum may well be the first out of the gate in 2023, maybe a January or February release? But if so, how much time does that actually give them to, play in 9th edition before any potential big sweeping changes come about in 10th? It just seems very weird to me that an army as big and popular and sort of lore important as the Guard has been left to wallow in, let's be honest, such a bad state for pretty much all of 9th edition. And even when they do get their well-deserved boost, it might only be relevant for, maybe 6 months if you're lucky, before it may well get changed up again with some new edition rules. For me, personally, I feel they should have done Guard sooner, as in now at the latest, and kept the quote-unquote new armies. And yes, I know the Guard are getting a big refresh, so that almost does count as a new army, but for me, the Leagues and the World Eaters are the proper wholly new factions being introduced to the game with their own unique book and ranges of models. Definitely for the Leagues, and with the World Eaters, whilst they've been in the Chaos Codex before, apart from the Khorne Demonkin, they've never had their own unique individual book either. So those two are sort of the, as I said, quote-unquote new armies, in my opinion. I feel like they should have been what bookended this edition, a huge, exciting send-off to 9th edition, maybe even kept one of them back to be the starter army for 10th edition, because can you imagine how many sales they would have got if the 10th edition starter set was Marines versus the new released Leagues of Votann, or even Marines versus World Eaters with a brand new faction and set of models to kick off the edition. I do genuinely think if they had done that, that would have probably been the best-selling box they've ever done. When it comes to the release of the Astra Militarum though, I could also maybe see them doing a brand new campaign style box, like they did with Shadow Throne for the Custodes and the Genestealer cults, so that they can release 2 factions almost side by side, and maybe, just maybe, get out both the Astra Militarum and the World Eaters codexes at least in one set facing off against each other. Again, I do think this would be a really big seller, some kind of Armageddon style battlefield. It would give them an amazing way to get those two books out very, very closely together. And whilst they wouldn't be able to do the whole range, I think, in one go, because it looks like both armies are going to be getting a lot, it would be a great way for them to at least maybe get Angron out before Christmas, which I think it's fair to say would probably be at the top of a lot of people's Christmas lists. It's worth noting as well that Shadow Throne was in December last year, so there is a precedent for a 40k campaign box in that time frame. So I do think that that idea does have some potential, and I do think it would be quite worthwhile if they were thinking about doing it. It would be a huge set of releases in a short time frame with the codexes and Angron and any other new World Eater units and models which are coming, as well as all the Astra Militarum stuff. So it probably would have to be spread out past Christmas for the full releases, but at least getting the codexes out and a starter, box set and maybe the combat patrols would be a great way to get the armies out and into our hands as soon as humanly possible. It might also be the case, of course, that we are wrong about 10th edition. Obviously, 9th has been plagued by, being through COVID and all the other things that have happened in the world over the last few years. So maybe they will release all of the 40k codexes and then delay releasing 10th edition until maybe the end of 2023 and fill the gap with some more Psychic Awakening style books before doing the new edition after that. And again, I do think this does have some genuine merit. To me anyway, 9th edition has felt a little bit weird with all of the delays and, everything going so haywire over the last few years. So it has felt like a very disjointed, almost not full edition. So they may want to get a bit more bang out of it. And in doing so, that would give the Astra Militarum Codex, even if it is the last 9th edition book, a bit more time to actually get some play and feel a bit more worthwhile, I suppose. Because, let's be honest, getting a solid 10 or 11 months of use out of a book, whilst not ideal in any situation, would certainly feel a lot better than getting the book in January or February and then having it feel a little bit obsolete if a new edition does come in June or July, because then you're only really getting 4 or 5 months out of it. Even if you can still use it in theory, it would still feel pretty bad, I think, getting a new codex and then having to account for all these edition changes like 4 or 5 months down the line. So that's going to be it for today. I just wanted to have a few thoughts about what I think might be happening with the Guard Codex and when it might be coming. I could see it either being in December with a sort of campaign box with the World Eaters. That is my hope. But I think more realistically, we are probably going to be seeing it in January in the very early 2023 releases. And if that is the case, I almost hope that 10th edition does get delayed a bit until later on in 2023 so that we can at least get a bit more use out of the Guard book before we move on to 10th edition. But I would love to know what you think. Are you worried about the apparent lack of Guard information? Do you think they are going to come this year? Or do you think you are going to have to wait until 2023 to pick up your lasguns again? And again, does that mean they are going to be outdated quickly if we do get that 10th edition release in summer 2023? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.